Update. Am I in the wrong for not getting back with my ex because my brother said so? Original post. Hey everyone, I'm really trying to make sense of the absolute movie I've been thrown into. For context, I am 20 and I was dating my ex-boyfriend 21 for 2 years. My ex is my brother's best friend from childhood, so I basically grew up with him. I always had a crush on him, but only did something about it after high school when we started dating. He was my world. We were perfect. There wasn't a day he wasn't by my side. I really loved him. 2 weeks ago, I found out he cheated on me with a girl at a party. He came to me immediately afterward, crying and asking me for forgiveness. I shattered, literally shattered, like glass. I didn't even respond. I grabbed my keys and left him in my own house. My brother called me a few hours later saying he heard what happened and tried to comfort me. We talked for a while, and I told him that I'm breaking up with him. He said that wasn't a good idea. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Not a good idea that I break up with a guy who cheated on me. He complained that my ex was his best friend, and he would be really bummed if I broke up with him. Like, what? I told him I really didn't care. I didn't even think he'd still want to be friends with him after finding out he cheated on his sister. Anyway, I'm not getting back together with him. Don't get me wrong, I loved him a lot, but he cheated on me, and that's a level of disrespect I will never tolerate. My brother and I are not on speaking terms, and my mom is kind of on his side. She said that he's just defending his friend. But I'm literally his sister. There's a lot more that went on in between, but I don't want to make this post too long. Let me know if you want me to go into more detail. Am I the a-hole? Now for the top comments before reading the updates. Not the a-hole. Because of your brother's actions, now he gets to share the a-hole award your ex already gets. You are 100% in the right, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Honestly, your brother's actions are worse than your ex's in my opinion. As a brother myself with a younger sister, that is a sacred bond he broke. I am so sorry you are dealing with this. I seriously hope he realizes he messed up and makes things right. I agree. The worst part is that this is absolutely not like him. He used to be super protective, and all throughout high school, he'd threaten to beat up any guy who came near me. I don't know what happened. My view is that people who talk like that aren't actually protective, but are just saying it as a way to show their toughness. It is about their masculinity, not about protecting those they care about. Your brother is an idiot. It might be his best friend, but you're his sister. I smacked around a couple of my sister's high school boyfriends that cheated on her. Pretty much the majority of my fighting back in the day was because of her. At the end of the day, I still would throw down for some family. That's the brother code. F his dumbass friend. He should have cut him off and kicked his butt between his shoulder blades. Limao, I'm glad your sister has a brother to look out for her. Luckily, this happened at an age where I'm extremely self-aware and had seen my handful of cheaters. So, who has your brother cheated on? You know, kind stays with kind? You're not wrong, but honestly, my brother has never been able to keep a talking stage, much less a girlfriend. However, if he does end up cheating on someone, I won't be surprised. Now for the first update. Hey again. So, some of you wanted me to go into more detail, and some of you had questions about my brother and how he felt about our relationship at first. I'll start by saying that when I told my brother, who is 22 by the way, that I was breaking up with his best friend, he was angry. I mean really mad. He kept telling me that I was trying to hurt his best friend and that I was going to make him deal with a bummed out friend and whatnot. Obviously, I was taken aback. He then went and told my mom. My mom called me really upset, saying that I should stop working my brother's nerves and all kinds of nonsense. I told her the full story, because obviously my brother didn't, and explained how my ex cheated on me. All she said was, "Oh," then hung up. I haven't heard from her since. I won't lie, my mom has always favored my brother, but I excused it as a boy-mom thing. She's never neglected me or treated me badly before. She just had an obvious favorite. I've also never been one to do the most for anyone's approval. A few of you had questions about my brother too, like whether he was a cheater and if he approved of my relationship in the first place. For the first question, my brother is a loser. He's really immature, so naturally girls don't want to spend a lot of time with him. I've told him several times that he should grow up, or he'll be single forever. So, to answer your question, my brother has never even had a chance to cheat. As for the second question, my brother found it awkward at first, but then he got over it. Plus, me dating his best friend meant he'd practically see him 24/7, so I guess he didn't mind that much. He just didn't like the PDA and all that stuff. There isn't much to update on. My ex has tried and failed to contact me. All my friends have blocked him, and no one is giving him any of my info. He's even tried contacting my boss. My brother is still insisting I talk to my ex, but I continue to tell him to leave me alone. My mom is radio silent, and honestly, it's for the best. Will I get over this? Sure, but it'll take some time. I don't think this is something to get therapy over, but it will need some healing. Thank you for all your lovely comments and messages. It's comforting to know there are people on my wavelength who understand that cheating is loser behavior, and tolerance for it is even weirder. Thanks for the update. I hope your mother comes around, but I wouldn't hold my breath. She is likely fully on your brother's side, which is a shame, considering that would put her on the same side as your cheating ex. Where is your dad in all this? Still not the a-hole, screw cheaters and everyone who defends or sides with them. Unfortunately, my dad passed when I was really young, so he's not in the picture. He died a good man, and I carry him with me everywhere. Do you live alone? I suggest you reach out to your brother and tell him how hurt you are about him putting his best friend above you, his only sister. Let him know you will be going low contact, and if he still tries to suggest you forget that your ex cheated and get back with him, you will cut him out of your life. Also, text your ex and tell him not to contact you or your employer, and that if he does it again, you will report him for harassment. If you live alone, change your locks and then your number. I live in an apartment with a roommate, but I live close to home so I visit often. I think I'll be limiting those visits too. Second update. I want to preface this by saying that I'm 1000% not getting back together with anyone. I made my decision from the beginning, and they can try all they want, but it's not happening. First, I want to say thank you to everyone who commented and messaged me offering support and advice. It really means a lot to me. I stalk this sub often, so the community means a lot. I spoke to my ex again, through text, to tell him to leave me alone and stop trying to contact me. I also told him to come get the stuff he left at my apartment. He went on to say that he needed to tell me something. He said he needed to tell me the truth. I did not respond, but he kept texting anyway. He proceeded to tell me that he made everything up, the cheating story and everything. Obviously, I didn't believe him at first, but then he went on. However, you need to understand that I really love this man and have for years, so there's a part of me that wants to take his word for it. Anyway, he told me that he planned the whole thing with my brother, like it was some kind of sick prank. Who does that? He called it a test. A test? For what? He told me to call my brother and tell him to tell me the truth. Keep in mind that all of this happened in a day, so it was crazy. He went on and on about how much he still loves me and how he wishes he never listened to my brother. I felt physically sick. It felt like whiplash. A few hours later, I called my brother and told him to open up, just to see his reaction and if I'd get a similar story from him. Surprisingly, his story was somewhat similar, except he made it look like he was just told to keep up with the lie rather than being part of the planning. He also told me that he was urging me to get back with my ex because he knew that nothing really happened, and we would have broken up over nothing. I still think that's very stupid. I really don't know what to think. Who is telling the truth? Why did I need to be tested? Why the heck am I still in love with this jerk? A lot of questions and no answers. A few of you had some issues with my mom, and they're all justified. From a young age, I knew she had her favorites, but I am very likable, so if I wasn't getting her attention, it really didn't bother me. I know that sounds cocky, but it's the truth. We talked, and she told me that she hadn't known that I was cheated on until I told her, and she gave me a curt apology. I also don't know if she's telling the truth. She said she scolded my brother for lying to her and hurting my feelings, as if that was meant to make me feel better. Our relationship will continue to strain anyway, so I'd rather not focus on that. Some of you asked where my dad is in all this. Unfortunately, my dad is no longer with us. He passed away 12 years ago, and it still breaks my heart. I was always told that I was the apple of his eye, and that his world didn't seem complete until I was born. I carry him with me everywhere I go. I find comfort in the idea that he would have stuck up for me right now. I love him so much, even to this day. I'm currently typing all this very late at night because I've been pondering all day. This has practically consumed my life, and I'm sick of it. It also doesn't help that my town is relatively tiny, and everyone from my graduating class already knows everything. I'm more fed up than I am sad, but I won't let it bother me for too long. But seriously, can whoever is controlling the TV show that is my life give me a break? Thank you all for reading. I really appreciate it. The prank story is a lie that your ex and brother came up with as an excuse to get you back together. Stick to your guns and move on with your life. It will not get better, only worse from here. 100%. Original story says he came to her crying. That's pretty good acting for a prank. Even if he was actually lying for a prank, doubt it, why would you stay with someone who would manipulate you and play with your feelings like that? How could you possibly trust him again? That's exactly what I told him. Why would he put so much effort into it if it isn't true? Were others at the party? Find them and you will find out the truth. And him crying without there being a real reason? That would be a disturbing ability. Prank or not, you obviously can't trust him. I am petty. I would tell him you visited a friend and you slept with that friend. So now you two are even. I'm not sure there was a party, honestly. I was never told of a party, and neither was anyone I know. I think he was very much lying about the party aspect. Now for the last update. Hello everyone. I wasn't going to post anything else regarding my situation, and the only reason I am is because quite a few of you have come into my DMs in the past week defending my brother and saying I'm a horrible person, and now you're in my comments. First thing, my brother is a loser. My ex is a loser, and my mom does not like me. I do not have to respect or tolerate any of them. I quite honestly could not care less whether that makes me a horrible person. I'd be a horrible person 100 times over before I let someone disrespect me like that. I don't know you, and you don't know me, so to make an assessment of my character based on a post leaves much to be desired from yours. Second thing, I've come to realize that anyone who defends or supports cheaters is just as bad as they are. This includes my mom, my brother, and all the freaks in my DMs. I want nothing to do with any of you, so be gone. Lastly, to the people who genuinely cared about my well-being and would like to know how I'm doing, I'm great. To no one's surprise, the whole prank thing was a lie, and I actually found out who my ex cheated on me with. I know that should feel like closure, but it doesn't. I just want to move on, graduate, and get the heck out. Thank you for all the kind words of encouragement, and to all the older siblings who reminded me that my brother is not the norm. This will be my last post. I just wanted to clear things up for all those who were interested. Last story. Am I the a-hole for refusing to get back with my ex, even after he turned his life around? My ex, 24 male, and I, 23 female, were together for 2 years. And honestly, it was hell in a love story costume. He was emotionally unstable, inconsistent, and borderline manipulative. One day he'd talk about our future kids, the next he'd disappear for hours with no explanation and gaslight me when I asked questions. I stayed way longer than I should have, thinking love was supposed to be chaotic. Spoiler, it's not. I finally walked away after a breaking point. He screamed at me over a text I didn't reply to fast enough. That was my last straw. I left, blocked him everywhere, and spent months rebuilding myself from the emotional wreckage he left behind. Now, fast forward 10 months later, he pops up again, sob story in hand. Says he's been healing, growing, and learning what real love is. Claims I'm the one who got away. I roll. He sends flowers, long apology texts, even shows up to places he knows I frequent. Borderline stalking energy. He cried on the phone, saying I abandoned him when he needed me most. Told me his New therapist said we have a soulmate bond that shouldn't be wasted. I told him I'm not interested. I've healed, I've grown, I'm happy, and most importantly, I no longer feel safe with him emotionally. Now he's telling mutual friends that I'm heartless, that I used his trauma to get ahead in life, and that I broke his spirit. Some of those friends are starting to side with him and say I should at least see who he is now and be mature enough to forgive. So here I am asking Reddit, am I the a-hole for refusing to get back with my ex, even though he's changed? Or am I just protecting the peace I've fought so damn hard for? Now for the comments. Not the a-hole. Don't listen to that fool. Go live your life away from him, and if he continues to pester you, block him again or get law enforcement involved. Thank you so much for the support. I truly appreciate it. I've worked hard to get to a place where I feel at peace, and I know that moving forward is the best choice for my growth. Thanks again for the understanding. Told me his new therapist said we have a soulmate bond that shouldn't be wasted. Girl, that's an absolute lie. No therapist would ever say that. This dude is a parade of red flags. Please be careful and stay safely away from him. He sounds dangerous. Came here to say this about the therapist. The fact that he thinks she'll buy that is funny, not funny to me. What does forgiving him have to do with dating him? That's manipulative AF and ridiculous. Like, you don't have to date him, even if he became the sweetest saint that ever lived. You can just move on. And the friends that think you owe him a date can buzz off to Antarctica with a suitcase packed for the Sahara. Thanks for the fiery support. I absolutely agree. Moving on is the best choice, and I'm all about embracing a fresh start. I appreciate the encouragement. Not the a-hole. He could walk on water and change water into wine, but you're still over him, and he's still using emotional manipulation, so no, he hasn't changed. He's just changed tactics. Don't even entertain him with responses, and tell any friends who think you're being heartless that they are free to feel however they want, but they are not going to influence your decision. Thank you for the insight and the blunt honesty. I'm definitely staying vigilant and focused on my own well-being. I appreciate your support, and as for those people who believe him, they are not for me, and I'm not for them, so I'm just going to cut them off too.